Welcome viewers to my YouTube channel. This is Ipafas here, and today we are going to talk about selectors, attribute selectors in CSS. So basically, selectors in CSS are used to select HTML elements and style them based on their attribute and value, or based on both. So we will start with the first selector, which is just using the attribute. So we will come, we already have the code for the HTML, and we are using the selected of CSS. We've linked it up here. So we'll go into this and start using the selectors. So first, let's take a look at this anchor tag. So let's come here. Let's see. So this is how we use the attribute, just the attribute. So you have an anchor tag that has the attribute of href, should have color of, let me change this from blue to green. So it changes it to green and it's underlined. Also, we can say an input that has the attribute of type. Let's make this change and probably add a background color to it. Change the background color and make it red. Background color red, and make the color just white for now. Yes, it is white. Okay, right. So this is how it works. It only targets the input that has the type, and the anchor tag that has the href. If you come here, the anchor tag that has the href is this. This link has an href attribute. This, and it is green. And when you come here, this is the input that has the type. So we style it, and this is it. Okay, so let's move on. So this type is where we have the attribute and we have a specific value to the attribute. So with these two buttons, we have the type attribute. So we want to style just the one with the value of submit. So let's come here. Let's have a button with an attribute of type equals submit. And so we have this over here. This is the type with the submit. If you change it and make it a type of button, it would also change from this to this. So this is how it works. So with this, we have the type, which is the attribute, and the value, which is the button. Okay, so let's go ahead and come to this type. So with this type, it's where we have a specific value to it. To yes, a specific value to it, to the attribute. So over here, we can have a value like info important. Here it will work. If you style it, it will work. But if it is being separated by a hyphen, it wouldn't work. If it's just separated by a space, it will work. But with a hyphen, it wouldn't work. So let's go here and try it out. The important thing is, it's supposed to have the info or the starting value or the starting word in it. So let's say it's a P, right? So P, it's a class of no, nothing true. It's a class of info. So let's start color. Let's say purple. Okay, it's not. Let me check what I'm doing wrong. Okay, it's a div. It's a div. So the div. So here is it. So we have it selecting, applying to this, the styling applying to this, but not applying to the one with the info card separated by the hyphen. So when it's info card separated by a hyphen isn't highlighted, isn't styled, it is just there, nothing else on it. And that's how this selector works. So moving forward, let's work on this selector. So initially we know this selector doesn't work with hyphenated words. So with how you have the info card, doesn't work with it. So to make the info card work with it, let's use this attribute to make it work. So we have a div of class info. Yes, the IntelliSense already working on it. So with this, it automatically works. And also, this type doesn't work with an empty space. So you realize that it applies to this info and applies to this info, to these classes, but doesn't apply to this. This doesn't apply to this. That's because it also doesn't work with an empty space separation. Okay, so moving forward, this type of selector also works in this way. So over here, it works like a combination of both this and this. Whereas immediately you have the info, it will apply to all the attributes with that value. It doesn't take into consideration it's being hyphenated or it's having an empty space separation. So this means an attribute where the value starts, yes, where it starts with the value. So you have to make sure the info starts with the value. It shouldn't be at the end. So let's come here. Let's say this. Let's choose HTTP. So the anchor tag with an href attribute and an HTTP. So anchor with an href of HTTP. Okay. So here it works perfectly fine over here. Let's see if we put it at the end. So let's have this over here and over here. Let's cut this, put it over here. See what we get. See, doesn't work. orange doesn't apply to it. So you always have to make sure the value starts the keyword. So let's continue. This attribute works. Oh, sorry. Uh, so this works with when the value ends with the attribute. So let's say we are using a class, the p tag with the class. So our main focus is the text ending, the parts ending with the text. So that's going to be our value. So if you come here, we have the paragraph, a class of text, italic it, and you have it here. It's now italics. So it doesn't matter if it's being separated with just a space, a hyphen, or it's combined all together. It would affect and style everything. So last, let's work on this. So this is where the value contains let's say a number of words from the attributes, right? So let's say we are going to take into consideration RIPT. So let's come here. Let's see. Oh, oh no. Okay. So let me have it this way. Let me make all of them a class. Come. Let me make all of them a class. And make these all P's. Okay. And just change it. Make it simple. Right. Okay, the intelligence is working for me. Okay, so you can go ahead with it. So let's go with it's containing just DES. So we're going to the CSS, then we have a P of class. Let's see. Yes, it underlines it. So let's add another one, another P that doesn't use the class of let's see, uses a class of entertain. This is for entertainment. So it doesn't affect this, it doesn't work with this. So that's all for selectors in attribute selectors in CSS.